Hey everyone, thank you for taking a moment to learn about my curricular unit that I put together to teach 3rd and 4th graders about natural systems we encounter in our natural environment. This includes the water cycle, nutrient cycle, decomposition, and general plant life. These lessons all work together in this unit to help students understand how natural systems depend on each other to work correctly. And I'm going to briefly walk you through a little roadmap of my curriculum unit, including the goals and activities I have planned for these students. I did create this unit with Oxbow Farm in mind, so my activities are designed to be easily performed outside or in a classroom, depending on what space you have available to you. Learners are 3rd and 4th grade level, so they are learning to be better problem solvers and make connections to what they already know to what they are learning, any new information that they are processing. And systems can be really tricky to think about since there can be so many moving parts involved, and there's many factors that all come together in the end. So these lesson plans and activities teach students little parts of each system and then connects them together and shows how they all relate to each other. This follows right along with constructivism theory and allows students to build their knowledge from the very bottom level and adding on piece by piece, and also goes with the discovery learning theory as students are exploring each new system. So my overarching unit goals for the unit cover all of my activities, and students will be able to connect and illustrate relationships between healthy soils, water, and plants, identify key phases in the nutrient cycle, identify key phases in the water cycle, and demonstrate benefits of one soil type over another in terms of drainage, filtration, decomposition, and organic matter content in relationship to plant growth and environmental health. So I have several activities that start with learning about the water cycle, and my first activity is about where water comes from and where it goes. So students are exploring what they already know about the water cycle and how we use water. They are identifying where water comes from, so usually rainwater and stormwater, and where it's going in our environment when it reaches the ground. And students are also going to explore what differences between rural and urban environments look like and what kinds of hardscapes we have that also make a big impact on water. Our second activity is talking about how soil filters our water, and they get to do this really fun activity with some Kool-Aid water and just experiment with sand and with some topsoil, and which one filters out that Kool-Aid color can also be represented with food coloring. Which one better filters out that color, which is represented as a chemical component in our water. Our third activity is about transitioning a little bit into the life cycles of a plant. And so students often don't know what exactly is happening in a seed until they actually get to see it emerge. And it can be largely a mystery since our plants grow under the ground. So putting our seeds in a clear container, such as a plastic bag, like this activity, allows students to actually watch what is happening and get to see each stage as the seed coat is opening and dissolving a bit and plant parts emerge. And students get to label new parts as they come and track how fast they're growing and just really get an up-close and personal view of what goes on. And they're really easy to make and a really fun project to decorate a classroom with. And rounding out the unit, we are talking about how plants at the end of their life cycle will be decomposing and going back into our nutrient cycle, and how how the carbon and energy that was made by that plant is being recycled into future plant growth. So students also get to do another project where they build a decomposition chamber, where they get to watch over quite a long period of time, about 2 to 3 months is recommended. So it's a long-term examination of what's going on in the decomposition cycle. And that one comes with a lot of tricky parts for teachers because decomposition labs have a tendency to smell bad. They do take a long time, and space is a concern. So I've got some helpful notes about that. The big picture idea of this whole lesson is to give students the tools to be able to connect all of these systems together and really make a connection between how soils are important for not only plant growth but for filtering water, and how plants could not survive without either of those things. And it also shows students that plant life does not just disappear, and when its useful life is over. It continues to decompose into the natural environment and provide for future growth, which is important for all of the cycles that we mentioned. Thank you for learning more about my curriculum design project, and I hope that Oxbow Farms find this very useful. Thank you.